Hello everybody and welcome to what will happen to us all eventually, which is the last night on Earth. It might be my last night on Earth, it might be your last night of Earth. We will never know, but in case of this game, the last night of Earth falls on whoever we eat, I believe. The night after, and oh boy, you are sharing a lot of similarities with another visual novel. Or this is the second time that I'm seeing that particular background. Did you know I was a psychiatrist in my past life? My first job was working at the police department, helping people process the immense trauma they just suffered, and incidentally getting information out of them to hand over to the cops. I made them useful again. The best way forward was to make them talk about it step by step over and over again. Left unchecked, trauma becomes mythical, amorphous, larger than life. But when you break it down, what happened into a series of actions and reactions, it becomes small again. Manageable. Just another thing that happened. No more, no less. By the way, I am digging the sound of the rain. So once more, from the top, but I'm not asking. Okay. Last night, in your apartment, it's you and the body. The body is someone I know. New, past tense. A lot of your baby teeth think you can keep connections to the old life after the embrace. I'm skeptical. Maybe you see why now. Were you close? Ah, it's my psychiatrist revaluation. Let's go with yes. Doesn't matter. The hunger has a way of flattening things. Whoever they used to be, first they become meat, then they become a liability. I don't think it goes in like that way order, because like if they're already meat, then they're just like a tasty ribcage and not so much a liability. Or am I going a bit Nagaraja here? Can the flesh-eating vampires actually eat bones, or is it just soft tissue only? Considering that eyes don't share the same immune system as the rest of our body, therefore if you get an injury to the eye and your immune system attacks it, you might go blind. Can Nagaraja ingest eyes, or is that a no-no? Why am I asking these questions? You know that last part well by now, don't you? I am very sorry, sir. I must apologize. Be sorry you made a mess of things, not sorry that you needed to feed and did. Told you the hunger has a mind of its own, and this was your first time drinking straight from the source. Over time, you'll build up enough muscle memory to be smart when you feed, so it's less of a total fucking fiasco when you do. There's nothing for it but repetition. Dear sire, this was like the first person that I ate. Why weren't you there? It's like, you know, it sounds like a logical place of where you were supposed to be, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. Back to the story. Came out of your haze to find you painted your living room red. Say nothing of the corpse at your feet. Here I got my notes. Let me read what you said the last time through. I struck up a conversation with them on the street. It was the easiest thing in the world. I've never felt so charming in my life. It was like I knew exactly the right thing to say to get the reaction I wanted. Or maybe more like, whatever I said became the right thing. I think you're right. I think I have our clan's gift of persuasion. Thanks. I like to think I know what I'm talking about. Continuing. It was trivially easy to ask them back to my place. The overture was clear, or at least they thought it was. They used hail to call a car because I don't have a smartphone anymore. I can almost feel the pain in that. Of all the things you'll never forgive me for, taking away your little toy will probably always be number one, hmm? Dot dot dot. Ah, continuing. Oh, hey, everybody lives in the same place again. But this time it's also almost dead quiet in here. By the time we got through my front door, we were both ready. I've been in their ear the whole ride over, and their hand rode higher on my thigh as they carried on. I could hear their blood singing to me as they nuzzled my neck. Crimson drumbeat that drowned out all else. You know what? I'm just gonna skip ahead. You see enough of these, you lose your taste for the poetry of it. Whatever happens, happens, and when you come to you got a body at your feet, the pulse of blood from its jugular slowing to a trickle as the heart stops beating. You're soaked in blood, and so's your rug. As it stands, you're slam dunk for the 1-2% closure rate those pigs in homicide like to brag about. And once the lab guys look at what you did to the body, you're a big fat breach of masquerade, too. You are fucked twice over. What did you do next? I panicked. Panic is a perfectly natural reaction. It's also the mark of a lesser creature, the kind of creature that still shits and cries and feels remorse. You don't do 2 of those things anymore, and we're working on the 3rd. And that always struck me as strange. They say the embrace makes us perfect predators, but we still have to deal with the fear and panic clouding our judgment? What kind of perfection is that? Sometimes I wonder. But I digress. In our world, panicked is another word for fucked up. How exactly did you fuck up? Oh god, no, you can say I tried 911. Oh. Oh, god damn it. Rule number 1. Okay, if anyone is in the free bad murder tips for situations that should never, ever, ever feasibly happen. If you find yourself a corpse and you have murdered another person, do not call 911. For one thing, if they arrive to go, oh, you murdered somebody, let me just call the police and the ambulance, everybody will find weird that you're also dead. And, I don't know, can you sentence somebody to death if they're already dead? Just, what do you do with one corpse's homicide? Do you just, write that off as, well, weird zombie apocalypse happened, I guess? Well, I tried to destroy the evidence. Destroy the evidence is one way to put it. You summoned up the strength to... Here's where I get confused. Did you take a hammer to it? A saw? Did you just rip the body apart with your bare hands? It was like a slaughterhouse floor in there. It doesn't matter. If I'm feeling charitable, I can see you were trying to fix it, even in the grip of the beast. But you let fear guide not just the what, but the how. And that made the situation worse. Always does. Think on that one. Then what? I called you up and was like, I did bad. Given the circumstances, contacting me was the smart move. Let's hope the fear and panic you still have in your dead heart is always so short-lived. And you're still on thin fucking ice. You contacted me, I came, I tidied up after you, and here we are, almost free of this mess you made. There's one more loose end to tie up. The body is gone, your precious little apartment is clean, and you're in the clear. Or you are so far. There is one last thing. Witnesses! Can you think of anyone who saw you together? I won't lie. Who? Well, the taxi driver, obviously. Very good. I've backtracked your story, and that's the only thing that can link you two to the now missing person. One last lingering thread to the masquerade. Are you willing to take care of it yourself? No. No? Is it conscience, I wonder? Or fear again? But then I never could tell the difference. I don't fucking care. Good news, you won't have to take care of it. I've already pulled some strings. I just wanted to see which way you would jump. And now I have. Before the night ends, a pet in a police uniform will pull the hail driver over. Misunderstanding will turn a routine traffic stop into a shooting. Taken before his time, how tragic, etc. The pet pig will take a week's paid suspension and then get right back to work for me. Just like you. Not the pay part, of course. I have one last question for you. Do you have any regrets? I'm gonna lie and say no. I can tell you're lying. Lying means you're learning. Well done, child. For what it's worth, it gets easier. They say the embrace is a curse, but I don't think that that's what curse does. It is that saucer music. Who is trying to rub two plates together in the background, I wonder? That is definitely one heck of a curse. Because just like the fear and guilt, we brought humanity's best and worst attribute into unlife and perfected it. You're confused. Let me put it this way. By tomorrow, you'll have forgotten the body's name if you ever really knew it at all. Last night will become just another thing that happened. No more, no less. And every future victim of yours walking around right now, oblivious to what's coming, that's all they will ever be. Just one more drop in the ocean of blood your unlife will become. Yeah, the real gift our humanity gave us is as banal as it is devastating. With time and repetition, we can get used to anything. And you have nothing but time now. Good night, baby teeth. Get some rest. Tomorrow is another day. Do I get to like crash at your place? Because my place is like, I'm sharing it with like 40 guys by this point, I swear. Your place is only shared by 2. So it is the superior place to be in. Well, so far, maybe we'll find out about extra neighbors later on down the line. Oh, nice little short game. The sounds were very fitting. It's no mistakes in the writing or anything. So, I don't know precisely how I feel about leaving note from like a philosophical standpoint. Because now I'm thinking, yeah, life is hard. But somehow I managed to see what happens when life is too easy. And my life is like nowhere near as hard as a lot of people. Today I cried to some American shooting PSAs. Don't question my YouTube recommendations. It was really awkward to see the fact that middle schoolers are being told what to do with when there's a shooter at a school. So you know there's some really horrible places to live in right now and some horrible fates that people are living through. But at the same time, there are a couple of people on the internet whose majority of the problems is just the fact that they don't have problems. Like, they are born to the 1% ultra mega rich. and they come over to ask for advice on the internet, and God, they're really neurotic and without a direction. Like, I had this lady that thankfully stopped trying to purchase things from me, because I am a tarot reader. She would send me 60 messages per hour, pretty much. And it ranged from, I do not know what to do with my life, like, at all, to, I want all the nice things that my parents had, but they cut me off, and the jobs that I can do, I would be spending 40% on my money on rent, and that's unfair, to, how do I force my siblings to give money to me because they haven't been cut off by our parents yet, to, I know that my roommates talk behind my back. I know it, and I am so good to them. What can I do about this? How can I control what they do when I'm not in the room? It is a person that was trying to micromanage their whole life, and they didn't really have problems. Their education was paid for, their rent was paid for until they graduated, but they no longer had the infinite credit card. And it was the most neurotic energy that I've ever felt. And just before that, there was another person that kept on posting on a different forum that had some... They were getting surgeries to get their organs removed and some of their limbs because they didn't feel like they should have them, and it was alright with their parent who was rich, so they didn't have a single actual issue in their life. Their life was completely provided for the rest of their life, so they made an issue with having body parts. And it's always the people that have no problems that have the most messed up problems I've ever witnessed. And it always leaves me in such a state of loss because I can't actually relate, and I can't tell them that their problems aren't real problems, because obviously they are real problems to them, but from my perspective, it's such a... It's like life didn't give you real challenges, so you made some. And because you made some, you are just stuck in some really weird loops. And that's the kind of person that I never want to interact with. I don't know why I'm sitting here telling you all of this. Anyways, nice game. I don't even know where this talk came from. I'm gonna be moving on now to... What is it called? Ghouls at Work. That was it. Ghouls. Hello everybody. Let's go back to Ghouls at Work. We're still reviewing Vampire Game Jams, and I mean Vampire Jam games. Oh god, we're reviewing Vampire Game Jams. We're just reviewing the jams themselves. And hopefully I don't tumble down into another really morbid conversation. It's in English and German. Let's start it. My head. Where am I? Who are those people? I don't know, Liam, but you're like so cute. Jaw. And I'm not entirely sure of the person on the chair's proportion, but the person standing next to the person on the chair is also so... Jaw. Okay, this question should probably read something like, how long was I unconscious? Because how long did I faint sounds like how much time did you spend in the act of losing your consciousness? So not like being unconscious, but the act of just falling over. But how long did I faint? Something between half an hour and a whole hour. What am I doing here? We want you to work for us. Working for you? You had even applied to us. I have written to many companies and there was no mention of kidnapping for the interview in any of the places. That means they don't want to work for us. Why would I want to work for people who kidnapped me? Oh, thank God you have common sense, Liam. Because it extends your life. In this case, even in 2 ways. I think the proper sentence here would be because it would extend your life with the F. Live with the V is like going live to record something. Like going live on Twitch to live, which is the action of being alive. Or multiple lives is also with a V. F is like my life. The thing that makes me breathe, you know. Who are you? I'm Annabeth Walters, and this lady to my left is Miss Vinola Bolton. She's the prince of the city. The prince. That means she's the most powerful vampire of the city. Vampires! You're Creasy. Okay, that's not how you spell crazy. Creasy makes me think that you're all wrinkly. Like, clothes crease. Like, you know, if I take some fabric and I make like a crease. Yeah, creasy. Size, not another one. How did I get here? We used the classic blank van. You hijacked me. Wouldn't describe it this way, but we used the same principle. We just needed you here, without knowing where here exactly is. Emma, be silent. May I now enlighten you as to why we asked you? There can be no question of asking here. We brought you here because we believe you can do something for us. In general, you could be a good addition. And what do you think that is? Well, addition is like the opposite of subtraction. It is when you add something to another. Oh, right, you didn't mean that way, did you? We're currently actively engaged in the modernization of resource extraction. Maybe the term agriculture 4.0 says something to you. Kidnap me to pimp up a tractor? Oh, Liam, I love you already. No tractors. There are other areas of agriculture that are much more interesting to us, but more on that later. First, we must find out whether you are suitable for this position. And if you fit here at all. So, Annabeth, give me the facts. Why did you choose him this time? You should realize that I don't like to be disappointed again. Of course not, mistress. Ooh, sexy. We have Liam, William Harper here. Born on 04/08/1986. Now 33 years old. He is older than me, and I will always be happy to find people older than me because that means that I'm not the oldest. Woo! Which happens to be great because most of the people in my friends group are either turning 30 or 40, which makes me feel all young and springy on the inside, and I love that feeling. He studied IT at Thomas Rutherford University, is divorced, has a daughter, but his ex-wife does not grant him visitation rights, and tries to prevent any contact. Mother died of cancer 5 years ago. He never met his father, except for an uncle because he has probably not spoken for years. He has no close relatives. He is neither big on social media nor does he maintain other social contacts. In addition, there is a collection of open invoices and an increasing suspicion of involvement in various internet crimes. Oh, Are you the mysterious account of name and bunch of numbers online that just kind of floats in, that doesn't even like have an avatar or anything and just kind of likes a whole bunch of things? Because we like the bunch of numbers that like a whole bunch of things. It's very nice. So no one who would be missed. That's correct. And these internet crimes, why did they commit them? To survive! Fine then. So then I can assume that you will make a wise decision if I ask you a question right away. Do you want to work for me? You see, you're telling me that I would make a wise decision here, but you're not actually threatening me with my life, and you are uber creepy, so if you kidnap your interviewees, like, the chances of dying in general goes up. If you got, you know, kidnapped for the interview, you might think that the job isn't, like, entirely nice, and it's also not the kind of place where you're like, you know, where you just get kidnapped to marry a mob boss because at the very least then they're gonna take care of you well. No, it's more like you get kidnapped to work for the mob boss. It's like the shoe polisher guy, and that's the guy that gets everything. But I'm just gonna say yes. And drink. Oh! Ooh! Ah! Yeah! Why is that so upsetting to me? No! Is it because I'm not used to seeing people actually draw veins? Is that it? Something is not right with that picture. But I mean, I can see my own veins. If I was a vampire trying to offer someone a drink, I would probably not try to actually sever one of the super visible veins on my hand. I don't know, seems like it would create too much bleeding, that would. Like, it's... severing the blue seems like it would be bad. I don't know. It's like if you have to cut a red wire or a blue wire, maybe cut none if both are underneath your skin. But at the same time, it's slightly reminding me of all of the half creepy Newgrounds games where, like, you know, there would be like games where there would be like, you know, surgeon simulator, and there normally would be like very, very gruesome, but they would be like, oh hey look, you're a field surgeon simulator. Please draw this exact shape on this hand. Okay, now please draw this exact shape with like needle and thread on this hand, and oh, the time is ticking, so hopefully you're gonna make it. It's kinda giving me those vibes, that hand. Congratulations, you survived this first encounter, maybe even on the first try. If not, you already figured out that whenever you die, you'll be reset to a point in history before you sealed your fate. At the top right, under status, you will find the possibility to display how many times you have already died and how strong the blood bond to your mistress is currently. It is up to you whether you want to be a good servant or try to escape the mistress. I just advise you to take care of yourself. The life of a ghoul can be shorter than you think. Oh, you don't have to say anything now. I know you like it. That's not even what you wanted to say? Well, anyway, the night is coming to an end, and I think you two should rest first. I need you tomorrow with all your strength. There's a lot of work waiting for you. Anna will show you to your room. From now on, you live here. Well then, come along. This is your room. We've renovated after your predecessor didn't need it anymore. But if you don't have change requests, go for it. No, that's right. After all, it has a large window. Who's that? Another employee? Oh no, she's also a vampire, and... Darling, which way are your hands facing? Can you actually physically do this? So if I have my I'm already kind of twisted because I have a twisted spine, and whenever I try to align myself for the camera, it will never be completely straight, and it will always annoy me super much. But, okay, so, foot forward, body that way. Eh? Wait, which way would I be Eh? Maybe, no? No, it's... I'm not too sure a hand can do that, honestly. I mean, they look like they're stretching the wrong way around. Maybe... No. No, I'm definitely very confused. And why is she balanced on the wall? What is she doing with her hands, man? Unfortunately, this is beyond my knowledge, but since the sun is about to rise, she will surely go right away. But I will leave you then. In fact, she's gone. But if this vampire is afraid of the sun, then surely the prince is too. In other words, if I flee now, I will only have Anna and other humans against me. Yeah, but you will have Anna against you. How would you even flee through the window? Where would you go? Let's stay here for now. Way too dangerous. Even if I flee now, the night will come, and I'm sure this prince will find me. If I want to survive, let's keep playing along and find out exactly what this is all about. Yeah! Ah! What's going on? What happened to my teeth? I look like a monster. Why are you slapping me? How dare you call such a gift from our mistress so low? Gift? I can't talk to anyone anymore without it being noticeable. Who do you want to talk to? Because he doesn't already know what you are? Who do you want to talk to who doesn't already know what you are would be the correct sentence here, I think. And, my dude! Tooth problems? Wear a mask. This portion of your face? Easiest portion of your face to hide. Right? Well, I suppose if forehead you could do with a hat as well. I mean, from supernatural attributes, wings would definitely be very impossible to hide. If you had horns, you would need to wear really tall hats. Together with any kind of bunny ears or anything similar. Whatever would be like sticking up here, that would make it difficult, because whatever you would use to cover it would also need to be tall, and we no longer wear tall objects on our heads. Maybe we should do that again, but currently we do not. If you have weird teeth problems, literally a mask, not to mention that some people file their teeth as a fashion statement. Some tribes do it as a marriage ritual statement. And you can also always say that you were in a freak accident, or that this is just how you were born, and others do not have the right to question it. What? Don't you mean who? If your reflection has not made it clear to you, you are no longer human. Oh my god, I'm a vampire! No, you idiot. You don't believe that our mistress gives you the honor of embracing. That's how far it comes. What am I then? The most common term is probably ghoul. You have had the honor of absorbing a piece of your mistress's power. This manifests itself differently in everyone, invisible to most, sometimes visible. And with me in my mouth? This can happen. Can't they offer the power to manifest itself elsewhere, so you can't even really eat something? Oh, no. No one has any influence on that. Not even our mistress herself. but I don't think this is going to bother you while eating. But why don't you try it right away? I made breakfast. You should eat something before you talk to our mistress. There's a lot more she wants to tell you. I'm sure you have questions. Yes, for example, why do you have the symbols of the clans on your walls? I feel like if the Inquisition were to strike any vampires, they have self-branded themselves. Don't worry, I don't harm you. You belong to me now, so ask me what you want. Most would probably start with questions related to things they have seen in film or television. How can vampires turn into a bat, or whether crosses can harm us? But these questions are not so easy to answer. We vampires, or the term I would prefer, Cainites. Pretty sure Cain was spelled with a C, are quite individuals. That means some of us can turn into bats and others cannot. Some are afraid of crosses, others are not, and so on and on and on. Those are the coats of arms of the clans belonging to the Camarilla. Camarilla is something like the world government for Cainites. Let's see if you got the correct ones. Yeah, you did. So seeing La Sombra on here. Ooh boy! That seems like a mistake and a half, but it might just be me that's thinking that. I don't know. It seems to me like the clan La Sombra is just winning all the sects. Of course, this is only an extremely rough outline, and the matter is far more complex, but you now have enough time to deal with Cainites' politics. Importantly, there are different clans that describe on the powers of each of us. Clan Banu Hakim. Hardly any Cainite is as deadly as the children of Hakim. They are born hunters. In the end, however, they are only true to their own weapon and credo. I have a bit of a problem with Banu Hakim in general as a clan. They're not based on anything special, like an attribute special. They're like based on being hired assassins. And they also know some magic, which makes Tremere a lot less special, because somebody else is now also specializing in blood magic. But they were kinda inserted as an NPC for Higher Clan, and then V5 was like, no. They're gonna be like up front, but like all Sabat are gonna be NPCs now. And there's no more like bloodlines, and those were very, very unique. But so you sacrificed bloodlines, and you sacrificed the Sabbat, and out of the magic hat of things that you gain, you pull out a sect that's kinda assassin-y, kinda religious, Muslim-y, kinda a bit magic-y. It's like if you took a whole bunch of social aspects and shook that bag really, really hard and then just slapped it into a clan. It doesn't make me want to play them, because they don't feel special. They feel like you know, if you had like a whole bunch of robots and you were like, yeah, I don't feel any of these, so I'm gonna take like a torso of that one, and I'm gonna like take some arms of that one, and yep, it's gonna be a new one. It's like Build the Bear the Clan, except that it's already pre-built, so you can't even build it. It's just, it doesn't work for me. Banu Hakim don't work for me. Clan Malkav. In the best sense, they're simply to be described as delusional things. In the worst sense, as geniuses. Malkavians, spelled with a key. You have Malkav right with a K. Malkav right here. It's from that word. Should never be trusted. I kind of love Malkavians as a clan. Because their curse is quite simply, hey, you're gonna have divination powers, but nobody's gonna believe you. That is the sum up, and here's the thing. Psychic magic and insanity almost entirely go hand in hand in people too. Like, if you can see things that other people cannot see, I cannot, by the way, before anyone questions my sanity, no. If you can hear things that other people cannot hear, if you're gonna try and explain those, oftentimes it will come out as something that you cannot explain, and also just the fact that you're witnessing all of that will make you seem quite crazy. And worst thing is that a lot of people that do witness things can witness it kind of like how their brain process it. So if somebody is observing auras, that observation is as set in stone as judging of what ice cream flavor the person is, because your brain is the one that's making associations to what you're seeing and hearing, and it's like completely different person to person. So, hey, Malkavians actually have a lot of things in common with real-world psychics, and it's very weird. What they say and what a Malkavian really means is usually only understood by a second. The woman you saw on the wall yesterday belongs to this clan. And what does she want to tell us? If only I knew. As I said, in the best case, it's just an expression of pure madness, and worst of all, probably only she knows that herself. Clan Nosferatu, sewer rats, but if you need any information, Clan Nosferatu is your first choice. There's nothing they can't find out, and most of the time they know it before you know. Know what you want to know, of course. The service has its price. I like Nosferatus simply because they're like the heart boys. Oh, they're so cute. That's, for some reason, they end up being the sweetest vampires out there. So you're just like, oh, you poor thing. Let me just snug you in, read you a bedtime story. Yeah. Clan Torter, my clan. The clan of the rose. We were given the beauty. It is a curse and a blessing at the same time. Yeah, you can't stop looking at things. A house in Clan Tremere. If you take it exactly, they are not real Canaanites at all, but they share with us their hunger for blood, power, and the night. They're magicians and unfortunately often capable of more than you would like. And also, majority of their recruits, like 80% of them, get mad in the first year and die. Once again, that madness and magic go hand in hand thing. When we talk about power, of course we must talk about one clan, the Ventru. No clan, no Cainite. You spelled Cainite fine before this point. This is a typo again. You need a need there. Can be as hungry for power as Ventru, and I assure you they are already sawing on my throne. Throne? Throne! Google how throne is spelled, please. And finally, Clan La Sombra. You have only recently joined the Camarilla, same as Banu Hakim, by the way. I don't have any of these in my domain yet, and I'm afraid if someone comes, I'll have to tolerate them. Domain? The city of mine. She is my kingdom, and every K-Knight with an E who walks through its streets is accountable to me. That means you made it to the top. Here is the center of power, and you're allowed to play mouse. How is it that people don't know anything about it? I mean, there's so much video surveillance, so many cameras. Yes, video surveillance is something annoying, and unfortunately there are also people who know about our existence. Some of them get together and hunt us down. She usually calls herself Hunter. It's always a female. It's, when you're born, and they go, you know, it's a boy. People go, woo, it will get to carry your last name. And when they go, it's a girl, you go, woo, they get to be a vampire huntress. Annoying contemporaries who have forgotten where their place is. And cowardly on top of that, they often take advantage of the sun's protection to raid our refuges or do anything else. That's why many of us in the meantime have modern techniques. And still others use this as an excuse not to have to admit that they don't understand anything about it. But I myself believe that we should not lag behind human technology. Rather, we should show them where their place is. I mean it's only because of our grace that you live in freedom. But why should we continue to grant you the grace when they chase us in return? Maybe if we should just put ourselves on the same level as them. Well, honey, because in World of Darkness, there are a lot more creatures than just vampires. And if everybody, roared at each other, I think you would lose the roaring contest outside of, the very, very few right at the top. Also, if you want to control humans, it is disgustingly simple, and I absolutely hate it. Get into social media algorithms. That's all you need to do. Literally, Facebook has done experiments that you can change people's mood depending on what kind of content you show them. So hey, the people that got angry and enraging content became angry and enraged people. People that were showed happy content were more likely to interact positively. Now, the issue here is that in order to get clicks, it's easier to get clicks if you post enraging content, which means that most of our journalists will write fear-mongering things or enraging things, and you're gonna interact with that. And as that's gonna be majority of what you see, you are gonna extremify over time. So just take that algorithm and you control majority of humanity. It is really fucking disgusting. And show their food the same grace as they do. Then the world will look very different. So what do you say about my little private project? I want to build a fully automated blood extraction facility that the hunters can invade later and see where they stand if they don't rest soon. Why do you start the sentence with a dot here? It's very awkward. I don't mean there is so much difference to a cowshed here either. I mean whether blood or milk comes out the same thing in the end. So you think you can do it? I have surprisingly little ethical concerns about this myself right now as a person, and that's probably concerning. As the majority of people can be controlled by as much as an algorithm, having witnessed a lot of humanity right now having very basic complaints, and not because they can't actually meet it, but because their brain don't think higher, it makes me think fairly badly about the human race. And I try not to be like this. I try actively not to be like this because I cannot judge somebody that's on a different life path. Look, if you need to be having 4 children from 4 different baby daddies, and yes, this is an actual person that I've encountered, and they're not necessarily doing it on purpose, but they are doing it on purpose because their questions revolved around, will they be able to get a 5th one off a baby daddy before the baby daddy impregnates their ex-girlfriend first? Running into these people really doesn't help, because I run into a lot of kind souls, and you don't need to be uber smart. You just, a nice person will do. Really, they will. Somebody that volunteers, somebody that provides comfort and care, somebody that wants to spread that joy. I don't care whether you can do basic math. You have succeeded at being a human being, but you have people that don't have that, and they also don't particularly have the intelligence. And the mishmash that you encounter is... It's hard to look at them and to think that it is a person, but it is a person. So I have very little ethical concerns myself as a person, and I am concerned that I have very few ethical concerns about this. I'm just having like a... Yeah, I should probably stop having small philosophical crises while playing video games. It's not a good thing to do. That should be possible. I thought so. Somewhere the records of your predecessor also lie around here. If there are any problems, say something. Money isn't a problem, and material procurement aren't one too. Just try not to wear out the organic one unnecessarily. I'm just building it, because right now I'm really on board because I have no ethical concerns, and I'm concerned that I have no ethical concerns. What is it? Did I check? No. Oh my god, how does this creature get here? What should I do? I must try to trap it. Done. But I must tell someone. I'll bring it to Anna. What up? I just looked up a giant snake in the computer room. A snake? What a strange coincidence. Our mistress receives the primogens of the clan Nosferatu. I will immediately inform our mistress. You can look if you can make yourself useful elsewhere. After the events earlier, I wanted to check on you before you went to sleep. You want to know if I got over the shock? What did this damn snake have to do here in the first place? I suppose it had some sort of order from its mistress to carry out. Yeah, I know, a snake, and you don't like snakes, do you? Even though you have never witnessed one in your life. Good boy. You mean it should scout out what kind of project this is? I don't know. This was too abusive for espionage. Usually neither the Nosferatu nor their confidants can be caught doing something like this, and certainly not by a simple ghoul. At least it's gone now. It's dead. Our mistress executed it. It cannot tolerate such behaviors under any circumstances. Even better, do you think? Wait, you question the decision of our mistress, don't you? Of course not. And since when have you been talking about our mistress? Don't know. How many weeks have I been here? Oh, Liam, you still have so much to learn. You always say later, and there's still time for that. That brings immortality. Anna, how long have you been a ghoul? I was born in 1834. Shit. You're already going to the 200. Well, it's that fast that it doesn't. I still have to be 190. You okay there? Then I'm curious to see how old I get. Who knows, maybe even the snake was several hundred years old. That's quite possible. Yeah, okay, we're going. What would my videos be without friendly cat alarms, huh? In the end, she was just a ghoul who tried to make his mistress happy. Liam, I have a slightly different task for you today. I have decided to hold an Elysium soon. This is a meeting of all the Canaanites of the domain, and I want you to issue invitations for that. This goes to the primogens of the Nosferatu. You should find her if you follow the sewer system to the south. Is everybody a her? Great, now I finally get out of the palace, and then I can crawl around in the sewers. As expected, here is just as disgusting as in my imagination. After all, I have a compass. With a bit of luck, it's not that far. O is east. Okay. Ah! What? Oh no. Okay, this is not gonna go well. Am I specifically trying to avoid? I've never seen so many fireflies at once. What do they do in the sewer system? They keep me company when they're not busy. Aw, Cherry, you look so pretty! What do fireflies have to do? Oh, this and that. And you can talk to the fireflies? What if so? Haven't you been told not to ask questions to which you don't want to know the answer? Ah. You're not very smart, are you? Anyway, what are you doing down here? I'm supposed to deliver a message to your Primogen. You're really not bright, are you? We don't know each other, so you don't know if I'm part of the Camarilla. Could also be with the... That is not how you spell anarchs! But I'm borrowing the word from now on. Anarchis! It's like McDonald's arches. Building materials. And be here to harm your mistress. Theoretically, I wouldn't even have to belong to Clan Nosferatu. There is no monopoly on ugly. I mean, you could have been embraced as an alien, I agree. Or do you think that only members of Clan Malkav can be crazy, or that there are no beauties outside the Toreadors? Be that as it may. Actually, by V20 rules, my husband elaborated, Toreadors select pretty people to embrace, while La Sombra embraces actively make people prettier. They just can never see themselves ever again in any reflection whatsoever. So it's... Toreadors don't even have the monopoly on beauty. You trust people too quickly. In this world, you will pay bitterly if you are not careful. Do you think the little one would crawl around on you like on me? Who guarantees them that you won't beat them? You always have to look at the world through the eyes of an insect if you want to survive, always from below. Who do you think you know more about the meadow? The man who walked through them, or an ant that crawled through? The ant. You see, also insects never overestimated themselves. They never became haughty or looked down on others. They're already at the bottom. Oh no, that's bacteria. When everybody and everything is bigger and more dangerous than you need to focus on your strengths to move forward. But enough of the words. Should I take you to my primage? Yes, because I have no idea how to navigate this place. Devil. Ah! Have I warned you not to trust everyone? Fuck you! You think my mistress will let you get away with it? I'm not afraid of your mistress, especially since I wonder what she will say about it. I mean, I've not bent our hair, and I don't brought you here eat too. I'll tell her where she can pick you up. What is your purpose? Does everything always have to have a purpose? Yes, I demand to know people's purpose for existing every single time when I encounter a new individual. That's just how we fly. Like, I will approach and somebody will be like, I am John, and I will be like, nice to meet you, John. What is your purpose? And they will be like, what do you mean? I'm like, in life, what is your purpose in life? What is the mission that you're under? Oh wait, you do not know? You do not know, John? What kind of human being are you if you do not know what you're even doing with your life, John? What is the higher plan? What are you doing with your life, John? Oh, you're just shuffling along. Well, that is absolutely unacceptable, John. You have failed as a human being. That means you're throwing me into this hole for no reason? Who knows? I'll say goodbye to you anyway. Bye. Fucking brat. How do I get out of here now? Climb. I can't climb as long as these damn critters are in my mouth, nose, and eyes fly. I will hope for help. I hope you have a good explanation as to why I got you out of the smelly hole. Nosferatu tricked me. Later. I want to leave here first. Somewhere where it doesn't smell like that. Well, mistress, maybe do not send a computer specialist into the sewers, I don't know. You trusted someone even though I told you how to find her? I have actually not a fucking clue how to find her. I don't know what you told me. I was walking south. Yes, but when you visit the clan of the hidden, it goes not so much about finding someone than about someone finds you. I assure you that Blanca knew from the first second when you started to roam these corridors that you are there, but she didn't show herself to you. What does that mean? The clan Nosferatu apparently just wanted to play games. First number with the snake and then that. You want to test your limits, but that's not what you must worry about. That's all my matter. But one more thing is important to me. My words must weigh higher to you. You're not allowed to be manipulated from others. My words are the only ones that matter to you, and when I say drink, you drink. We already had that. Ah, is anyone getting greedy? For such a number, I can't reward you, so make up for it. Catch! What should I do with the car keys? Drive, of course. Where are we going? Shopping, you might say. And what else you could say? You know that our mistress is planning to hold an Elysium, don't you? Yes. And you also know in the meantime that each clan has its own curse, yes. And the curse that weighs on Clan Ventrue that all gourmets are. I'm sorry, that sentence just gave me brain damage, I think. All gourmets are? That is... No, that does not. I'm not even. No, not even gonna fix that anymore because no. Means what? We get blood that tastes better. Exactly. And which blood tastes better? Well, that's a matter of taste. Come on, Anna. Now don't let everything pull out of your nose one by one. What? What exactly do we do now? Here is the list. We now get blood from people who have the characteristics on the list, or preferably the whole person, otherwise it is not fresh. We'll find out to which people of the city these characteristics apply at all, so that we can pick up shortly before the beginning of the Elysium. What are those qualities? Left-handed, who has recently eaten soup and keeps at least 2 cats. Brown-haired, middle-aged woman. Works in gastronomy but is gluten intolerant. Apart from the part with the gluten, you can never taste it from the blood. You're surprised by what the Ventrues taste from the blood. What reflects your whole life. Yes, most of the properties on these notes are more totally crap, if not all. A Ventrue would never reveal what his preference is. You believe that makes them vulnerable, and perhaps that's true. Rather, you have to think about what people of these qualities have in common. For example, look at the desire for supermarket employees. An above-average number of women work in supermarkets. An above-average number of these women are often even single mothers. This is the sought-after quality. Okay, I get not disclosing that. When, like, people can attack you by your qualities, but at the same time, get it wrong and you're vomiting in the party, and that can't be nice. I just drive around until we happen to meet a person with such qualities and we throw them in the van, or how? Of course not, we already do this systematically. Look. What should I do with the restaurant vouchers? Distribute them to the people from the top of the list. You tell people that restaurant here where the Elysium is located wants to improve its menu. Therefore, randomly drawn persons will be distributed the vouchers for blind tasting. In other words, we let people come to us. You privacy cabins, so that no one can be influenced by the opinion of another, and the buffet that's sufficient. And what about those that don't want to come? Well, we still have the van. Understood. Van is, by the way, without the E at the end. Ventru is with the E at the end. One, Liam, here's a scarf to cover your teeth. We want to look friendly to people. I hate you. Isn't that your special girlfriend? Now she's already doing gymnastics through the neighborhood. She really doesn't know how to have arms. Someone should definitely tell her. 120. Tell me, Liam, how come you're not in where the music is playing and instead playing cards with us? My mistress actually wanted me to help with waitress, but somehow the glasses always landed on the floor. 390. And you? Aren't the Ventru actually very popular? Shouldn't they also be able to bring ghouls with them? They can, but I fear such an honor my lord will not forgive me. He likes to present himself independently. 360. I think you're slowly declared enough. Don't you think so? I would have anything against 30 either, but I don't think we can do that anymore. I'm here primarily because someone must drive the car. It's still better than the two here. After all, Lord does not advance anything. We are aware of our problems. My lord does not advance anything. And caught the fox. Of course not. Let her. Argue about why we ended up here doesn't help. We're all in the same boat. So, Talia, why doesn't your mistress want you at the Elysium? How do you come to the conclusion that she doesn't want me with her? And trick. Well, because you play cards with us here in the kitchen instead of being inside the event. I see. I was hungry and inside they just spread blood. So I thought I would go to the kitchen and make myself a sandwich. What did you expect as an answer? She is the ghoul of a Malkavian primogen? I assume you wanted to know why I was playing card games with you. Exactly. Why aren't you planning to go in? No, they're still talking boring stuff anyway. I mean, has anything interesting happened in the last 100 years? The invention of the internet? The exit of gangrel Bruja from the Camarilla? That the anarchs rule Berlin? The fall of London? And one, I said 360. Who is a turn giving cards? Raoul or Vita? Honestly, I'm still confused by you. I would too. They have a really strange tactic. Against 120. Confused? You screamed like on a spit. If we weren't used to something like that, it would be really insulting. It still is. I already apologized. That doesn't make it any better. Against 90. I didn't expect anyone to come into the kitchen with 2 heads and 4 arms. But what's so weird about someone going to the kitchen? Probably would have in your place too. And want to know now how we got into this state? Only if you don't mind. You don't. Is that intentional or did a ritual go wrong? Oh, it was intentional, but it had nothing to do with blood magic. How does that work then? With protein or with flesh crafting as the special ability is called? Trick. You know, there are more clans than those in the Camarilla or the Anarchs, and one of those clans has specialized in this art. And we're really not the most impressive thing that can come out of it. I don't think I want to know what else can come out of it, but how come your lord is Tremere? You lack a knee there. If that is the ability of the other clan, did he learn that from them? Oh no, of course not. I don't think Tsimitsi would have even little sense of honor in his undead veins would teach a Tremere. Now our lord saved us from there. He killed the then lord and took us in. Since then we have been taking care of the copies of books, the restoration on a large scale. He never bothered with our appearance. After he saved us, he had always presented us to everyone to show how extraordinary we are. In these nights, however, this does not happen anymore. My tasks are too important for us to have time for such a thing. As important as playing cards in the kitchen. Who now has the lord who advanced something? Your master ever gives you the honor of seeing the guild house from the inside and not just parking in front of it, you already realize the importance of our tasks. And won again. It's the last run and the score says it will be close. I do not understand this conversation. I have no idea what I've just read, but I feel like I must have had a stroke. I understand the point where the person in the middle was made by Tzimitzi, but... Advance? Something. Hard talk. Like all the re's are just not registering properly in my brain. I don't actually know what's happening. You know what? You two suffered enough. We won, but I'm afraid there isn't time for another round. The sun is about to rise, and Anna surely wants me to tidy up. Indeed. Speaking of the devil. Hello, Annabeth. Everything done before sunrise, isn't this? Even though Anna let me carry all the chairs and tables alone. Hey, now she also throws a stone in here. There's a piece of paper attached to it. Have you recognized the truth? What truth? What? I'm sorry, nobody ever told me that I was gonna do math in the visual novel. Oh, I can't do that. Fuck it. Luck is deciding my answer right now. I thought about maybe using cards, and then I was like, it's overkill. I'm just gonna use a dice. What is the first number? That's all I want. Do we have a 9 on here? Yes, we do. Let's go with that. That's all bullshit. Thy Malkavians are creasy. That's the truth. That was not a sentence. That was not a sentence. Hand over your head and on the floor. What is it? Where are these people? Eva, concentrate. We have to take out this monster first. Where is your mistress? How many live here? Ah! So you think you can run away? Well, we'll have questions for you later, so start thinking. Come on, we have to hurry. She's certainly already alarmed. I have to do something. I have to stop them. I must not give up now, just step for step. Let her jump if she wants. She can't be saved anyway. Liam, we're too late. They killed our mistress. They just killed her. Anna, what are you up to? What reason should there be for me to stay here? You're coming along, aren't you? We will accompany her to the last way. Okay! I knew I hadn't made a mistake this time. I do not appreciate that. Specifically that. If there are no hints until this point, it means that what you have to subject yourself to is either random guessing or forced multiple playthroughs, where hopefully there are hints. I'm just really not a fan of that, honestly, because that just seems like a forced way to reinflate your playthrough statistics. But anyways, we're gonna stop here with Ghouls at Work. You really need to work on your writing. You really do. There is a lot of mistakes. Like, enough to make me semi-enraged, but it's okay because I started having philosophical crises halfway through, so I completely forgot about all of them, so that actually helped. But, sound is fine. Graphics in a way are cute, but in other way, there are points where models look extra wrong. Especially the Malkavian model. It does not look like the kind of pose that a person should be able to ever pull. So on one hand, Liam looks cute in the art style, on the other hand, the Malkavian model. You see the problem. Definitely the text would be easier to read if it wasn't gray. The black text is a lot easier to read than the gray one right now. And I do not appreciate the ending at all. At all. But anyway, thank you for making this game, and I am gonna see you, my YouTube people, some other time. I have already dug through 3 rows from all submissions, and I think I'm not that far away from finishing all of the plain browser submissions as well, and if I get bored I might just start clicking around and going by what hits my fancy rather than in any order whatsoever. So yeah, expect excitement, we're still playing them all. See ya!